Welcome, my beautiful friend. Oh, you don't know who I am? Because I know who you are. For namesake, I am the Alpha J Show. You see, we have a past. Maybe you might have forgot while doing laps in your limited budget baths. Allow us to catch up over a cold glass of fair use, shall we? So at first, the outrage of Teen Titans Go replacing Young Justice was emerging over amateur YouTube videos, and I decided to take the high and open-minded road and defend you. I had no obligation to. You didn't need me to. I made no impact one way or the other. I did it out of the kindness of giving shows a first chance. To this day, I believe the first episode I reviewed for your show was the start of something good. We moved on to The Best Robin, an episode that pretty much decided to go the opposite route of a decent Teen Titans Go episode. I finished it off with 40-40-20, a bad episode disguised as a great one under flashy animation and a catchy song. I thought that was it. I would describe that you started off well, detoured from that with your stupid comedy, and you were aware of this, but no, you decided to dig deeper. You see, I know you didn't like that. I know you've seen a few of these, and I know you care. Maybe it wasn't mine. I'm pretty small right now, but I know you know the internet exists. Now, despite all of this, you put out more and more, and with a special here and a marathon there, I just couldn't take it anymore, because there are many examples of you wanting my attention again. I did another episode calling out your blatant plot recycling, and trust me, those 3 episodes are not the only ones, but I decided to let it go. With everyone and their mother pretty much loathing Teen Titans Go, I thought everyone would just not watch you, and you'll go the way of Johnny Test in its latest season, but no, you decided to drop the fourth wall, Return of Slade, Let's Get Serious, and books. So guess what? I decided to try and show you what an episode of your style would look like, but better, with the Angry Beavers. I understand that you don't care, but if you didn't care, then Return of Slade wouldn't exist. But if you did care, then books wouldn't exist. You see the problem, right? How come the internet isn't trashing Super Noobs or Uncle Grandpa? They fully understand that people may not like them, but do they stop? No. So I decided that maybe you didn't like that I was telling you this information. A small YouTuber. And I got the help of one Avis Reviews, and we both told you that this is not the way of going about doing a good episode. You didn't care again, yet you dropped episodes like Friendship and Dreams, dubbing over your older incarnation. I guess you finally understood, and you decided to get your daddy Warner Brothers to take my video down. But it's back up, and it's doing better than it did before, and I learned my lesson. I shouldn't defend you, but I shouldn't blindly hate you either. So let's play a game. 6 chambers, 1 bullet, you know the name, Russian roulette. Except, it's gonna be solely aiming in your direction. And to top it off—
just get on with the freaking video, you freaking panda!
Alright. Let us begin with the downfall of Teen Titans Go.
Well, we're doomed. No, we are not the doomed. I gave them so much love, they became the harmless egg.
You have made your characters ignorant. The staff writing responses to this criticism is ignorant. This show reeks of ignorance. And I've always been keen on how you've messed up Starfire the most, and this is one of her worst appearances. The Titans start off on a rainy day, and everyone complains. Everyone is trying to mope with their sadness until Starfire approaches them, and apparently hug them into positivity. When she approaches Raven, like many people, are doing things and don't really want to be hugged right now.
In this box are the twin destroyers of Azarath, harbingers of doom, purveyors of exquisite misery and endless pain.
And why are you holding them?
I need to collect spell ingredients to banish these demons back to Azarath, and I can't take them with me.
Why can't you just take them with you? You know what? Fine. This is not even the bad part. The opening gave us a sense of hope and direction, which again, is what a few of these episodes do, until what they really want to tell you slams you in the face. So Raven pretty much tells everyone, don't go near the box. Everyone except Starfire agrees. Starfire wants to shower this box with affection, the same box that she just met. And if you assume this to be exaggeration, you would be wrong.
Hugs and kisses don't solve every problem. Not everything in the world deserves your affection, especially these creatures.
So Raven gives us, the audience, clear evidence that Starfire is stupid, as she goes to hug a bomb. Raven also explains that these creatures feed off of affection. Starfire, being the ignorant one, still decides to go against her friend. She resists and resists as if her life depends on these creatures. And this is a problem in Teen Titans Go. Characters are given motivation right off the bat for no reason, no matter how stupid this motivation is. Starfire just woke up and I guess decided to try ecstasy, or maybe she ate one of those cookies from Pickle and Peanut off of that episode I reviewed earlier. Now when you hear of Starfire, tell me, is one of those things, even on this series here, being that she can't lie? They had an episode where she did learn from Beast Boy how to lie in a sense, but she realized the error of her ways. There was also the episode where they broke Robin's staff and she let out that they did it. She cannot keep a lie. She hates lying. Got it? Alright, now listen.
Got it. I have gotten it. I will not touch the twin destroyers of Azarath, no matter how much they may clearly need affection.
10 seconds later.
I must give the hugs.
Starfire, no!
Just one snuggle.
So they turn out to be cute, relatively. I wonder why Raven would emphasize that you couldn't give these cute monsters affection. Maybe it's because they can feed off of it, all for poor saps like Starfire. This isn't like your elderly grandmother being tricked into giving a Nigerian prince money because she wasn't looking for trouble. Most likely she was just trying to use the internet and mind her own business. Starfire was aware of the warnings. She'd have a very bad day if she decided to give these creatures love. Now, I'm not going to talk about it from her perspective because let's talk about characters. I said before that a character makes a show. It's not the idea of someone disguising themselves as a robot Mr. Krabs that made Imitation Krabs so good. It was Plankton disguising himself as the robot Mr. Krabs that made Imitation Krabs good. You want to have good characters in your show. They can only help. They build loyalty to watch the show. They can sell merchandise. You can build advertising around them. The show just looks a lot better with them. What does building a stupid character do? It makes the show and the written portion of it look stupid. I'm going to skip over their montages because I can see the tweens from an animation standpoint. Now yes, on the surface level, this may not seem too bad, so let's continue. Now after giving into temptation, Robin strongly wants the creatures back into the box. However, Starfire doesn't understand. Even when Beast Boy and Cyborg did. But you know what? Since I didn't get your story from earlier, I did say I wasn't going to take your perspective. Tell me, why do you persist on doing this?
Because they, like all creatures, thirst for it.
You want to know a quick fix for this episode? Actually, I'll give you 4. A. Have the Titans find these creatures first without knowing the consequences, and then do this episode. B. Have the creatures find the Titans without knowing the consequences, and then continue the episode. C. Have them know the consequences, but a villain sets off the monsters. Or D. Virtually any beginning that doesn't tell them the consequences before they do what they do. Because with any of these solutions, it adds tension to not knowing what happens, and it doesn't make Starfire look like an incompetent liar. So the creature becomes an egg, and Beast Boy throws the egg away before Raven comes back.
You opened the box, didn't you?
No, of course not. No.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, we're doomed.
No, we are not the doomed.
Raven, please punch her. So the egg becomes a monster that wants to destroy the town. Do you know what this means? Starfire calls the monster that wants to destroy the town. Remind me, what do supervillains do often? Destroy the town. I would have given this a positive review if the monster decked Starfire across the continent. That would have at least taught her that not everything wants love, and not everyone wants love from you. Before I go on, I do want to say there is positives here. They do acknowledge continuity and bring back the Titan robot because unlike Starfire in this episode, the other Titans act like superheroes who are given responsibility. Robin, Beast Boy, and Cyborg understood the consequences, and Robin acts like a good leader and tries to satisfy everyone, but knows when to stop. This episode is also paced really well. That is not the problem here. These are all good points, but they do not overshadow the main point. So they end up having an okay fight scene. It certainly gets the job done because it's only one glaring, annoying problem. So they each get in some offense and Starfire has to deliver the finishing blow because.
There, formerly tiny people. Surely you only rampage because you are scared.
You mean how they were in the water and they went over to the town and they began to destroy it. Sounds like fear to me. Now, one more thing I don't like is that they never let Starfire reply when Raven tells her exactly what she's doing is wrong. It kind of makes Starfire looks like she's doing this because the writers want her to do this, and it never works like that. Every Titan except Starfire gets crushed and nearly left for dead. This puts everything in the hands of Starfire. Now, if this episode was good, this part would be the best part because she would redeem herself.
I suppose not everybody deserves the love.
And the winner for the G You Don't Say award goes to Starfire. This is Starfire's 5th award in this category. You idiot! You knew this was a bad idea and you still went against Raven. How can I like this? This is something that anyone would hate in real life. Do you want to know how to get Starfire to listen? One word. Aloof. Aloof means not friendly, reserved, distant, not interested. So basically anyone who doesn't want to approach something or someone. That is not what Starfire does.
You are the butt. I do not like you. My feelings. Your kerpuffin is like Glornak on a volcanism.
That was mean. Why didn't you know what, I don't care. So the monster comes back to normal and they end on Starfire being an idiot and starting this again, presumably to have an infinite chain of Starfire messing up. Do you see how your ignorance can lead to a chain of bad episodes? This is not just a one-time thing. Many cases you use this template of one Titan being temporarily ignorant and it never works. The ignorance of your characters has led to the downfall of your series.
Those words, they make our heads hurt, Bill.
I never said this would be easy. I'm trying to help you make a great investment.
Oh ho ho, this is gonna be fun. I was gonna wait to do this next year, but I changed my mind for the 50th special, so why not tear this apart this year? Your insolence is what made many of us lose respect for you.
It has come to my attention that you have not been using the new suggestion box.
Using the Teen Titans Go suggestion box is like asking the copyright holders to remove their claim on a video willingly.
The whole reason for the suggestion box is to have a thoughtful way to address the flaws in the Teen Titans.
What if I suggest that no one use the suggestion box to think open-mindedly?
Anonymous has suggested that the leader of the Titans, Robin, that would be me, should teach more life lessons.
What? I thought you were teaching me these life lessons in earnest. You taught me that you can use your crutches and everyone will respect you. You taught me that kidnapping is okay. You taught me that your older incarnations are better and that you don't care. And I've become a productive member of society because of this. What more would I want? I'm gonna skip over the Beast Boy part because you see, Teen Titans Go, they were sick and they kind of missed out on the lesson on filler.
Man, you a nerd if you don't want to do the graffiti on walls.
I'm a nerd and you suck.
The lesson I'm going to teach you is how to buy rental property as a long-term investment.
Wait, this isn't gonna be like Let's Get Serious and The Fourth Wall, where you show us an incredibly exaggerated example of the criticism if it was met in the way that you see it.
Actually, that sounds super boring, bro.
Well, it is, but no one else is teaching this valuable information.
Alright, fine. Let's still go through with this. Now let's analyze this for a second. To explain why teaching lessons is boring, they decided to use rental property, something a child cannot immediately use themselves. This is like trying to explain why water isn't necessary by pointing out the price of an expensive and, for example's sake, out of your range, bottled water. Teen Titans Go, I know you were sick and you kind of missed the lesson on fallacies, but let me explain. I'm gonna be doing a video on this soon. You see, the straw man fallacy is to deceptively make your opponent's argument look weaker by using a misrepresentation of the argument. This way you can make the opposed look wrong without looking into the argument and critically thinking about it. Then add on the fact that you are a cartoon, so you can get away with it because you are nowhere near the top of the totem pole for anything important, and then add on your lazy paint by numbers characters, then top it off with the fact that the network pushed you down our throats regardless, and you pretty much have the reason why this argument shouldn't exist. Do you want to know something though? Teen Titans Go does have separate writers, but guess who wrote The Fourth Wall? The creators of the show. You know who wrote Let's Get Serious? The creators of the show. Return of Slade? The creators of the show. So guess who wrote this? The creators of the show. Strange how that adds up, huh? So Robin gets the Titans on board by equating equity to money. The first step is getting a place, so he gets a very bad place. And I understand getting a bad place, flipping it, and then selling it back, but this episode is going to explain the nitty-gritty, correct? Of course not, because cartoons are for... Alright, wait. So Return of Slade taught me that cartoons are for kids. The Fourth Wall taught me that your humor is what makes you. And Let's Get Serious taught me that you don't need to change to appeal because your way works. Now, this episode is teaching me that cartoons are not for kids, as kids cannot use this lesson yet. Your lesson should be what makes you and not your humor. And that you should change to appeal to what someone suggests. Do you see how these points add up now? So Starfire asks, how can you buy this rundown rental property with only 20%? So Robin says that they're going to need a bank loan.
The rest will come from a bank loan. I thought the boring part was over. It's all boring, but fun at the same time.
But mostly boring.
You know you don't have to respond to criticism, right? Do I have to bring up Pickle and Peanut, Super News, Fanboy and Chum Chum, Uncle Grandpa, and Johnny Test again? They do this sequence where Robin pretty much starts explaining the nitty-gritty and the other Titans zone out in fear, showing that their brains cannot process this information. So is this episode about rental property like Wikipedia says, or is it about you not wanting to teach lessons? Because if it's about rental property, then you fail because it does not go far enough to explain. The Titans do not learn anything in the end, and there's no struggle or progression because Robin has everything that he needs. Needs a place? He got that. Need the money? He has Batman. Tell me, how come when these two write an episode, it tends to contradict the things that they said before?
I know something that will hurt even more than this important information. Low credit score! Failure to plan for the future! Not enough money to live after retirement!
What's credit score? You didn't tell me anything about credit score. You didn't explain it anywhere in the episode, or you did explain it and it was in those scenes where you muffle out Robin's response. Also, failure to plan for your future. Let's talk about who's laughing now. An episode from Teen Titans Go that bashes college. Teen Titans Go, or the staff, or the creators, or someone, love to throw in the fact that college is either a waste or hugely optional for their line of work. Alright. You have the freedom to express these ideas, but don't get mad when people like me express that you suck and that your episodes suck, because these episodes are getting to the point where it has me questioning if the haters, as you would like to call it, aren't gone the first time, or the second time, or the third time, then they're not gonna leave. You think if PewDiePie made 3 videos telling the haters to piss off, all of them would magically leave? This is not Dora the Explorer. I'm trying to find something good to say about this, and I can't. This is the absence of good.
I'm starting to worry this is going nowheres.
Yeah, this had better lead to us fighting someone or something interesting.
Because if it isn't fun or include violence, you should cut it out of your life for good. So 8.5 minutes in, they get the rental property, so what do they do now?
He has demanded we fix his toilet.
Tell him to fix it himself.
And if we refuse?
Then he can withhold his rent money, and we will lose equity.
Then get staff? I don't know that much about rental property, but I know these places can have staff. So Robin discovers that the renters are paying below market value for this, and the other Titans pretty much want to kick them out.
That's technically illegal. Renters have rights, unfortunately.
So do critics, but that didn't stop you from taking down my review. So instead of kicking out the renters, they decided to kick out the renters. Shady practices? It's not like the show is given preferential treatment despite its low ratings and mixed reviews. Nah, buy the merchandise. Also, small note, I know you don't like teaching lessons, but you know what show really comes close to that? The Loud House. And while you struggle to get 1.5 million people watching when your episode airs the first time, the lowest the Loud House has gotten was a 1.52. So, yeah. Lessons are pretty good. You're not. So they end this part with Robin pretty much saying that this house will be beneficial in the years to come when they need old people medication. So 40 to 50 years, basically. You made an episode about this for kids, for them to watch in 40 to 50 years. You decided to teach me that Teen Titans Go shouldn't teach lessons by giving them a lesson that they can't see the results of for 40 to 50 years.
Why?
Hi, I'm Robin of the Teen Titans. I know we've had a lot of laughs today, but planning for your future is no joke. For more information about investing in rental property, visit your library or talk to a local realtor.
Hey, it's the Alpha J. I know we had some laughs today, but Teen Titans Go is no laughing matter. For more information, visit your local animation reviewer or talk to anyone with a working brain. Honestly, for this chapter, I could have picked anything. This one may be the most controversial of episodes that I critique, but I believe it's worth noting. I enjoy a good bit of mindless humor. You're just gonna have to trust your buddy, the Alpha J, and see that this chapter is the glue that holds all the other chapters together. Special guest, Batman. This episode had 3 writers, which seems weird, but when you realize the format of this episode, this actually seems pretty plausible. So Batman is driving home to watch Teen Titans Go. And I guess every other channel pretty much had static. I mean, even that isn't a good excuse. But what episode, mind you? Probably 40-40-20. Or maybe Waffles. How about the one before this? Nope, this is Robot Chicken. But the Teen Titans Go version. If anyone wants to say that Teen Titans Go adds literally nothing to the table, show them this. I'm gonna go through each of these skits, and to be honest, the Batman stuff is filler, so if I skip it, that is why. The first part is pretty much Cyborg getting a haircut. That's it. The first part of this skit is Cyborg pretending to have hair. Not Cyborg is sad that he doesn't have hair to set up a story, not Cyborg seeing a competition involving hair and wants to join. This is played completely straight. So after Cyborg chases down an ice cream truck and gets ice cream, this happens.
What?
That's the end. The joke is he's bald and he's crazy. The next skit involves Beast Boy and the Pain Bot. Apparently Pain Bot is in need of repair and Beast Boy pulls out a thorn and...
You got to go!
Is this another parody from the 80s for kids? The joke is the opposite of pain is hot, or he's supposed to be the pain bot because the hot bot is annoying. Please someone tell me what's the joke. Between this skit and the next, a bat pretty much goes number 2 on this guy's pretzel. And before anyone goes in the comment section and tell me, Alpha J, how do you not know who this character is? They never mention his name throughout the entire episode. So while you may know who this person is, I'm going to put myself into the so-called kid's shoes and tell you what I know. They probably mentioned it somewhere in the series, but they did not mention it here because these two never talk. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They made an episode with no plot, no pacing, and no jokes. This is what they deem in their 4th and latest, at the time of recording, season, good children's entertainment. I want to speak to the part of my audience that believes that Raven is a lesser evil. Watch this skit. So Beast Boy vibrates because of his phone and Raven gets upset. Cyborg vibrates because of his phone and Raven gets upset. Then Cyborg and Beast Boy vibrate because of their phone and Raven gets even more upset. Then Raven's phone vibrates and, well, you get the point.
Oh, hey.
No lesser evil in the later seasons. Then we get a Batman and Robin skit. Old fans, you'd probably want to see this. Remember the Batman skylight? Well, they have a great parody for you. Let's talk about subversion. I'm no comedy expert, but if you do want to surprise your audience, it's not hard. First of all, you already have a pattern of subverting your content, which is why the Cyborg skit, which was played straight, genuinely did come out of nowhere. But when you have a pattern of doing the opposite of what's expected, it's easy. Do what's expected then. This is not hard. And I think a lot of the problem here is that Teen Titans Go has no consequence. If this passes for an episode and the ending in books passes as an ending in all of the other episodes, there is no quality control. Are the scenes colorful? Is somebody talking? Is somebody moving? Good. Children's entertainment. Then we have a scene of Batman and this guy switching hats. Nothing happens. Then we have a scene of Raven and her dad bonding. It's just like the communicator scene where Raven is annoyed until she gives in. I've explained it in 2 sentences, and this went on for way too long. Now straight out of nowhere, we get something exciting for once. A staring contest. As if they already haven't done a staring contest yet. Think about this for a second. Teen Titans Go recycled a staring contest. Teen Titans Go recycled a staring contest. Teen Titans Go recycled a staring...
Get that sandwich out your mouth, girl! Let's get to work!
It is time for
The jet! And mustard, baby!
They did an episode revolving around Starfire being this character, and before, it was great. Although the chase scene can entertain you, I'm sure if there were anything, any moving photo, anything moving, anything, you probably wouldn't be watching this in the first place, so let's continue. Then we have admittedly the best skit, even though that's not saying much, that ironically doesn't involve the Titans. It involves a charismatic hobo called Stinky Joe. He goes around town pretty much greeting people until he reaches a woman that looks a lot like himself called called Stinky Joan. He steals a kiss, that's all that matters. Now, how is Teen Titans Go going to connect all of these scenes? What does a staring contest, prank calling, Batman, donuts, ice cream, eggs, and all of the other things that the Titans did have in common? Maybe it will be a great plot, interwoven where all of these Titans will realize that they're on air and it leads to some wacky shenanigans or some struggle or battle or something. Well, how does this episode end? Now to some, they may see a few skits and that's it. But put this into perspective. One of the most frequently aired series aired an episode very early into their latest season that just so happened to be a collection of things that they couldn't even make episodes or subplots out of. You watching, I am sure with any of the concepts that they gave you in this episode, you can make an episode out of it. Now, Gumball did do an episode similar to this. It's called The Uploads, where they had Gumball look through a lot of unrelated skits. However, how that shines and how this fails is because the uploads revolved around the incremental addiction to the internet from Gumball's perspective, and the fact that it was funny. In fact, I reviewed the first scene. Go check it out. This is something that I don't want to see grow. This is a trend that shouldn't get off the ground. Imagine the years that cartoons like Avatar, Hey Arnold, or even the shows that aren't really respected as they should be now, like Gumball and Clarence, worked to pretty much make cartoons look like a legitimate form of storytelling, to be pretty much torn apart by episodes like this. I know it's one small drop, but the fact that it comes from Teen Titans Go, the show with a large platform to say something, frustrates me, if you couldn't already tell. Now, of course, they aren't obligated to do anything I say, but with episodes like this and the previous two and the next two, you really have to question the deeper intentions of the two creators. You are mindless, and it is that mindlessness that truly glues this review together. Because no matter how insolent or ignorant you want to be, you have no merit beyond being on Cartoon Network airing 48 hours a day. Therefore, that mindlessness led to the downfall of your series.
I wanted to sing a new song, have a new adventure.
Oh, look at Mr. Moneybags over here. Those things aren't expensive.
We've been doing great. We can afford a little change of scenery. You would think.
What separates Teen Titans Go's animosity from shows like Johnny Test, The Nut Shack, or even Fairy Odd Parents is Teen Titans Go is incredibly arrogant about how far they have gotten. Now, a side of me wants to somewhat agree that it is an achievement to get as far as you did with that kind of quality, but according to the last episode in this video that I reviewed, which was from season 4, they do not make the effort to improve. Enter the bottle episode. The first time I saw it, I thought it was the worst episode of 2016. Now, it's top 10 material, and you'll see why.
This one's the momsy turtle, this one's the daddy-o, and this is the baby Leroy.
This joke has been done to death, but the only thing teen about these Titans is the name of the show. So because 7 years ago, there's a giant bottle in the center of the room. Beast Boy has found it and carried it into the tower. Mind you, this is written by one of the creators. And forgive me for taking this cheap shot, but take notes if this is one of the creators that bashes the notion that you have to take college in order to get somewhere. They make funny faces in the bottle before Robin comes and questions what we, the audience, may say. Instead of explaining or doing anything of substance, why not derp around while there's a giant bottle in the middle of the room? They all decide to get into the bottle, including Robin, which makes all of his previous criticisms pretty much worthless.
I put the cap on, yo.
How did you put the cap on? From the inside! Great.
You know, I throw in examples and try to explain why this style doesn't work when you take into account that they respond to criticism at the same time, they don't care about industry accolades, and at the same time was branded as everyone's new favorite show. Believe it or not, if you're appealing to kids, you have to care. You have shown that nearly every part of making a cartoon you don't care about. So if you don't care, why would I? Why should I? So they make a joke about saving money. What more can I say about their quote-unquote limited budget? And before you say, no one would have known that Teen Titans Go would have been a success, mind you, their advertising was aggressive. They had crossovers, marathons, 2-parters, 5-parters, pretty much delivered to their doorstep. The Titans then want to come up with something exciting. Also, remember that turtle clip from earlier? Now watch this.
let's take a moment and remember our favorite songs.
Now, before I get into the content of this, why are they speaking as if their audience is 5? Or maybe 4? Or 3? Let's truly think about this. With all of the mature humor, industry commentary, breaking of the fourth wall, and the way they respond to criticism, how does many of these episodes appeal to the younger audience beyond bright, flashy colors? I truly feel like the message of Teen Titans Go declined in season 1, unfortunately. Then what comes is a clip show. Teen Titans Go in its 3rd season deemed that it needed a clip show. Now I understand they did 100 episodes, so it's not as if they didn't make progress, relatively speaking, but this isn't a story arc show recapping their major plot points. This isn't a comedy show recapping their funniest moments, or even showing all of the moments that required more effort than usual. This is a low effort show celebrating the fact that they made nearly 100 episodes of low effort. They had no reason to start the clip show, and they have no reason to still go through it, and they had no reason to finish it.
I wanted to sing a new song, have a new adventure.
Oh, look at Mr. Moneybags over here. Those things are expensive.
But we've been doing great. We can afford a little change of scenery.
You would think. Would you like to pay for the luxurious trip with your golden pirate treasure?
Yes, this is real. Now fine, some of these scenes were really exciting and they come from episodes I like. Some of them. But the idea of seeing them over doesn't constitute for substance. This and the previous episode makes these feel more like an obligation. They sign off on these episodes, yet don't really have enough meaningful content without resorting to clip shows, or compilations, or responding to critics, and all of their other low-effort tactics. Honestly, this isn't just bad because it's a clip show. The commentary serves as a smug reminder that this show gets more airtime than your favorite show.
Dude, we're not gonna do this every day. This is just so we can catch up.
You know how aggressive our schedule is. Consider this a bit of a breather.
We get another clip show, some more commentary.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, we got deformities.
Our bodies are ruined, but it was worth it for the laughs.
Pretty sure you mean money. After recycling the recycled recyclables, they break out of the bottle and straight out of the Krusty Krab training video, they cut to black before something happens. In this case, the plot. A wise artist said, in order to break the rules effectively, you must understand them in the first place. A clip show in this day and age is useless. With iTunes and all of the other distribution platforms, and the fact that you marathon the entire series one weekend and show 50 episodes the next, I did not forget about nearly as many scenes as you think I might have. I know them fully. And if I didn't, I could watch the episodes. It's not like I need a VHS player or a DVD player. In short, this is worthless. If the previous episode was the absence of good, then this episode is the absence of potential. It is your arrogance, combined with the other 3, that has led to the downfall of your series.
Man, you really let things get out of hand.
Me? How's this my fault?
Because somewhere along the line, you got soft, and it left you vulnerable.
That doesn't explain why you guys are following him when clearly I'm a better leader.
We have no choice. He's the alpha now. And being alpha is more important than actually being good at anything.
I'm just gonna cut to the chase. If you were to ask me what my least favorite episodes are, they are Yours, Mine, and Mine, the bottle episode from before, Curly Squirrely, and this. I'm going to disclose something. I'm well aware of what I do. I talk about cartoons. As far as what I do for society, I don't contribute as much as a doctor or an educator. However, unlike episodes like this, I don't take away from society. Day to day, I better myself so I don't get put into categories that these characters or the people that write this would be put into. As far as being the worst of Teen Titans Go, it's not. I firmly believe that the bottle episode was the worst. However, I dislike this one the most. Just like with the Big Fairy Scare Share, this episode features a giant plot hole and serves as the turning point for this series. However, this is more pathetic because this is the 12th episode. 2 episodes before this was La Larva d'Amour, one of the best episodes of the entire series. As well as a couple months down the line, Books, one of the laziest episodes I have seen on Cartoon Network. Whether I had 11 or 11,000 subscribers, I knew what my 50th review was going to be. This. Not all 5 pieces of crap I reviewed for you today, just this one. And the only reason why I added 4 other episodes was because I didn't think it would be entertaining for a Girly Squirrely Part 2 for this episode. So yes, although my sparing for a bunch of moving pictures doesn't mean anything, mind you, the concept of my 50th special was drastically different just a handful of weeks ago. I'm sorry if this intro seems long, but I just have a lot to get off my back before I begin. My channel has always been about giving a voice to things that other reviewers or other outlets generally don't do or don't do as much as they should. I'm very proud to have praised shows like Clarence, Fanboy and Chum Chum, Camp Lake Bottom, Bunnicula, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Jimmy Dimmy Power Hour, and even this show itself. Because I wanted to put those voices out there for people who thought, hey, maybe this deserves some spotlight for not sucking the way that this episode will. And no, this isn't a knock on other reviewers. We should all review what we want. But my point is, this episode is much more than a bad episode to me. It's a signal for the downfall of a series, and boy, has this series fell. It's a blatant and inconsistent mess, but most importantly, it's me being wrong. I defended season 1. I thought this was just going to be another Super Noobs or Pickle and Peanut situation where the internet was up in arms that they weren't getting another story arc fantasy series and not being content with a perfectly fine comedic show. But no, I was wrong. We should have cut the roots here. But is it really our fault for wanting a series back? And this is what we get? Should we just suck it up because it's just another entertainment show? No. Because this sets the precedent for other shows to come back and do what they want because of name value. If this was just any no-name show like a Breadwinners or whatever, I wouldn't care, because this is not just about the episode. But instead of going on for 10 minutes, I just want to end saying a few things. The previous 4 episodes, I limited myself for going less than 10 minutes from a script writing standpoint. You and I are going to go through this episode bit by bit, and I want you to understand how wrong I was for thinking that this series wasn't going to be that bad, and to see the key points they decided to not emphasize for this episode and a lot of infamous episodes to come. The episode starts out with the Titans exercising and Robin being a leader and motivating them like any leader would. Cyborg, Raven, and Starfire pretty much destroy themselves relatively, appeasing to Robin's orders before Beast Boy arrives as a gorilla. For no reason at all is Beast Boy a gorilla. For no reason at all does he do the following.
You can't ignore me!
Huh?
We are 1 minute in, and I already don't want to review this. So Robin gives Beast Boy punishments for not following orders, and nothing works. This has nothing to do with orders. This has everything to do with being written as the biggest nuisance. Mind you, we didn't get a reason for this beyond he just doesn't want to. The other Titans pretty much tell Robin to back down, as if this is a normal thing to come from the Teen Titans. I understand not feeding the trolls or adding fuel to the fire, but try getting hit in the face with an elevator door and letting them off the hook. Not only this, but the way that they set this up, I do not want to see Beast Boy learn his lesson. I want to turn the channel. I want Robin to take out his staff and legitimately beat the green off of that ungrateful abomination. Oh wait, he did, in that god-awful pranking episode. So instead of Beast Boy minding his own business, he has to go and ruin other people's day, while Robin pretty much tries to be reasonable and play Beast Boy's game of gorilla. They play music in the background that would indicate that this is supposed to be a quote-unquote normal occurrence or playful thing. However, just like in the fishbowl and Yours, Mine, and Mine, this seems incredibly realistic and again, horribly unjustified. Beast Boy tries to justify this by saying that gorillas don't do this or that. But again, none of this explains why he's a gorilla in the first place, and overall, he is not a gorilla as a species. So the other Titans get into a fight and Beast Boy watches, because gorillas don't do anything. Robin then pretty much expresses that Beast Boy is a hindrance, which is true. This episode would be twice as better if the Titans at least acknowledge anything. This episode is going as if Beast Boy had not been in after curfew, or not wearing a uniform, or something so minor. In fact, they blame Robin.
Have you considered the reason you are upset is because you are not in control?
3 things. 1. Making Robin worse doesn't make the Titans look better. 2. Why are they pretending like this isn't a real issue? 3. If Robin had control issues, that does not make Beast Boy look justified. So Robin continues giving Beast Boy punishments that don't really do anyone justice. Beast Boy continues to ignore these punishments, questioning the leadership of Robin. Again, Beast Boy is only acting this way because Robin has control issues. Because Beast Boy was in the room getting his muscles torn off the bone when Robin was doing his exercise drills. Oh wait, he was late. This episode fails on that one crucial thing. Therefore, everything after it just doesn't work. In fact, it makes it worse because we're supposed to believe that this is how it should work. To quote my previous self, this isn't a parody. What is it parodying? Good, annoying nuisance episodes? Any series with a shred of respect that has done this type of episode has known to give the person getting the torment a reason to be in this predicament. A reason to be in the wrong for something. Anything more than nothing. So now, because Robin has control issues, he is no longer the leader of the Titans, except all he was doing was training them. Like I said in many other reviews, including this series here, show, don't tell. And for a show full of filler at times, it wouldn't hurt if they just took out a tiny bit of filler and showed Robin being a control freak instead of being told this information. And if we were to believe that this happened off the episode, then Robin should know about this issue already. So Beast Boy makes himself leader by sitting on Robin. Can anyone show me anyone who's in charge of like Cartoon Network or YouTube or Warner Brothers or something? I would love to see if this works.
Come on, help me out here!
He's right. It is the law.
Of the jungle, baby.
So because Robin apparently had control issues, no one sees what Beast Boy is doing is completely asinine. He becomes not only a leader, but a leader that the Titans appreciate for some reason. And I understand what they want to do. They want to show what it would be like if Robin's leadership was ever tested. That's a great idea because it can make the character stronger and make Robin look like a great leader. But even if he won this, which he does, this does not make Robin look any better. It actually makes Beast Boy look worse. Let me put it this way. If I were to expose a YouTuber for breaking terms of service because of how everyone is borderline or somewhat breaking terms of service, it doesn't really make me look better. It just makes the other YouTuber look worse.
Your first mission for us is to keep bullies off the monkey bars?
I must protect them. The monkey bars are a gorilla's natural habitat.
Whenever anyone does anything in this episode, ask why. Why should I care? Why should you care? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Why is the character this way? Why is the episode this way? The blatant plot hole is that they went through with this without a setup, without a why, which means that everything in this episode is pointless. And it sucks because this could have been a really good episode if they had a setup, a why. Then they do the same thing they did at the playground, which is a waste of time, but with crocodiles. Showing that they did have time to explain something, anything, but they chose not to.
We're gonna free the captive gorillas.
Oh, brother.
Exactly, my brothers.
I'm sure it's the same gorilla acid, by the way. So Beast Boy gets sick of Robin and hangs him by his cape. Safely, I might add. I do see the progression, which infuriates me even more. So Cyborg defends Beast Boy's actions because Robin went soft, which is why Cyborg himself fell apart during the exercise.
Lucky for you, there's no place better to get your alpha back than at the zoo.
That's the moral they're going for, guys. Now, I understand the point that they want to try to make a good leader, and a good leader should have to deal with things like this. However, there's a difference. In this case, there was never a leader. More like a person telling you what to do, and the other people being like Sims, where it didn't really matter who was telling you what to do, because you would do it regardless. So while it is a problem so much on Beast Boy's end, the other Titans didn't make it any easier for Robin. So Cyborg decides to help out Robin because he hates bananas. Which is why he waded through scaring a child, beating up crocodiles, and setting gorillas free for no reason. Your reasoning sucks. So they begin training like every training montage you have seen before. Then we get back to the other Titans, where Starfire, pretty much like Cyborg, expresses that she may not like the new leader as well. It doesn't work after you willingly did all of the things that you did. You are guilty, just like your leader. Can you believe that the later episodes in this series is pretty much this? So Robin learns that violence solves alpha problems. So does he attack Beast Boy? Well, they try, but then...
Okay, stop.
Not till you say who your leader is.
Wow! No! I can't take it. I can't.
Do it! Do it now!
You're my leader.
Somehow I don't get the same feeling when watching Beast Boy get tickled.
Cut the baloney! The next time you forget who your leader is, you're going to have major problems. Starfire.
Now, just like Big Fairy Scareshare, this episode is more of a symbol of what's to come, and I don't like the direction that Teen Titans Go took, obviously. Now mind you, good episodes came after this, but this episode came with the style of purposely removing crucial things for no reason at all, which allowed many people to excuse certain things from certain episodes unfairly. I'm not saying that a cartoon should be 100% logical, but give me a reason to care. You air too much, and cartoon episodes like this are a dime a dozen your series. And cartoon episodes like this shouldn't be so easy to find in your series. So yes, call me out for saying that Gorilla is the downfall of Teen Titans Go, but it's not that. It's the patterns in this episode, along with the others that I reviewed, and flowing under everyone's radar that permitted more episodes like this to be put out for those who actually wanted to give Teen Titans Go a chance. So yes, I burnt my hand on the stove with this, and honestly, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So yes, there is one last bullet left in the chamber. However, no. I'm not gonna end this. Yes, the copyright thing really did tick me off, and these episodes do suck to high hell, but I think we achieved something amazing when it comes to Teen Titans Go. It's the same for shows like Family Guy. That is apathy. The worst shows don't look so bad because we don't care, the better shows don't look as good because we don't care, and the controversy doesn't look so controversial because we don't care. Most of us don't even remember all the bad parts unless it airs all the time. Because it is my role to review this, I'll bite the bullet. But my advice to any of you that hate the show, don't help it in the ratings. They are falling in the ratings, factually, so they're going to get their last kicks and marathons out the door. So thank you all for making this an amazing year, a good one for me and my channel, and sticking around to review 50. As for Teen Titans Go, you know I'll come back to it, just like Very Odd Parents, just give me a few months. I want to start off this year pretty positive. Thank you for making this year the best year I've had on this channel. And as always, I hope your time was well spent, and Alpha out.